Hi, everyone. My name is Aqeel Ali, and for my galvanized Capstone 3 final project for the full-time Pacific cohort, I went and did a resume recommender system. So this project actually stemmed from the motivation of, as a recent job seeker already fighting an uphill battle for employment, I actually just realized that ATS systems have grown quite a bit in popularity with recent discoveries about a little bit of research. So this last week, I did an interview for a financial analyst position, and I only got through that because it was the internal referral. Not to say they don't already go a long way, but I did not know that after passing in my resume through jobscan.io website's free tool for job seekers, this position I only qualified for accordingly about 26%. And so with the rising popularity and expected growth of these widely adopted ATS systems all across different hiring platforms, internationally even, I want to go ahead and develop a tool that can help out. So that being said, my project's purposes were to develop a model that would be trained on the job descriptions, as opposed to having to go in each individual job description, as jobscan.io's tool would use, and pass it into a resume. That just seemed a little impractical to me, that you would do that several hundred times in the job seeking process. I'd rather just give me the top most important words, and I'll find a one size fits all, basically the best recommendations. That being said, I also wanted to get the most recommended jobs for me to apply for with the active listings that I was scraping. That being said, I had about 9,000 active listings across 6 different domains. So I've labeled those as such, chemical engineer all the way through underwriter on the bottom left over there, as well as scrape the entirety of the Indeed's website with this scraper API tool as a different proxy to access a lot of different requests for the HTML text. So from there, I was able to go ahead and do some exploratory data analysis and found out that my data already was pretty distinct from classifying. We go ahead and reduce some of the dimensionality and grab the different clusters with the PCA graph shown below. We receive pretty distinct information. It could be already pieced together intuitively, the fact that physicians like to be that close to a data scientist or a recruiter even. And that being said, we already got some of the keywords from the top. I got the top 100 keywords for each job description in order of importance, relevance, and appearance, as well as the coefficiencies. So that being said, I use a logistic regression model in the end, as it offered a great coefficient interpretability that would pertain to each individual's feature as it pertained to the predictability of the model. And from there, I was able to go ahead and tease out what I needed in the first place, which was, hey, help me out with the most important words so I could grab sample resumes like the one shown below from resume.com, and what would be the top words that this individual needs when applying for jobs. And so they're shown over here in the below, to the right. It makes sense that statistical, a bit more important, especially when talking about any sort of data scientist position for metrics. Additionally, I also was able to get the top recommended job URL for this individual, and it was shown over here on the right. So for the sake of time, my web app was just built on Streamline.io, a really simpler front-end web development tool. I passed in my resume as a block of text on the left, the financial analyst position mentioned earlier, and went ahead and passed in and gave out what words are needed, as well as what are the top URLs for myself. So that being said, it kind of called back to the earlier points about the lack of some practicality with this tool. While it might be offering a lot of accuracy to my specific results, it relies heavily on my data set in itself. And my tools are limited to 9,000 pieces of data across these 6 different types of jobs. And so for kind of a larger scale tool, more commercial viability, I would need way more across a lot of different domains to dive into distinctions between, for example, a data analyst versus data scientist and data engineer. And that being said, I would also want my tool to be able to interpret a resume way more with the sectionality. It's very tough with the NLP language technologies to be able to develop all the different nuances of the human language, as well as the specifics of a resume in particular, because we do kind of skip from line to line, work experience to education, and those might be interpreted in the model as relevant or necessary words. And from there, I actually found out in researching this project, there are a lot of existing research papers on this topic. One of the leading papers is this very sophisticated recurrent neural model that does fit between the sequential text as well as the job descriptions, requirements, and kind of gives you more of a based on the attributes within the resume and the job description contents. Overall, the project did teach me quite a bit. It is active. Please feel free to pull up the GitHub repo, contribute, find me or contact me by email or LinkedIn anytime. It's been a pleasure and good luck going forward.